Hello and welcome to yet another day here in House Rivalries National Division. We have two semifinals going up today, and we will be guiding you through this. My name is Zelda, and with me I got Follower.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
So we have four teams that have gotten through these grueling quarterfinals, or someone that's been seeded directly to the semifinals. But we have these four teams, which is Brussels versus Lisbon, which will be our first match. And then we have Madrid versus Helsinki, which will be our second match. And the winner of these will, as the semifinals, go through to the grand finals that we will play later this week. So looking forward to this. You see anything funny, follower?
Yep, so first we have Brussels, the first seed, going up against the fifth seed in Lisbon. They have something really unique here. They pretty much mirroring each other's lineups. We have Quest Shaman, Combo Priest, and OTK Paladin on both sides. Brussels have chosen to bring the Tempo Rogue alongside these three decks, while Lisbon's have opted for the Malagos Druid. Really different takes on the meta here. Pretty much Brussels expecting Shamans and Combo Priest to counter to snipe down with that Rogue, while Lisbon has expected things like N'Zoth Priest, and Brussels have come out on top as far as I'm concerned. What do you think about?
Yeah, seeing the lineups just straight out without the ban taking place, it seems like the Druid is a better pick because the Druid counters the Rogue. But when you factor in the ban and you factor in how we're going to ban everything and going around, and we actually got the ban, so we can talk about that later. Brussels has the more flexibility in their lineup to counter. Most likely, everyone's going to bring Shaman at least, so they have something for it.
So basically, thinking about the LHS format, once the Druid is banned for Lisbon, and the Rogue stays for Brussels because the Priest was banned, we pretty much have Brussels here with the slight edge. That Rogue can swipe 3-0 against that OTK Paladin, Quest Shaman, and Priest. Evolve Shaman is not present in both teams' lineups, although it's the most powerful deck currently in Hearthstone. People are already dubbing it Shaman Stone because of this deck, but both teams choosing to pass up on that and bring the Quest Shaman instead. What are your thoughts about this decision?
Well, the thing about Evolved Shaman and why it's been so, let's say, exploding into the meta and becoming the Shaman Stone is a lot to do with like the turn 4 Desert here with the Evolve, creating 3/4 drops. This with this in mind, you can play a really aggressive strategy. You have stuff like Bloodlust, you have stuff like Thunderhead to create a white board, and you can just burst people down. So it is much more aggressive deck. Quest Shaman, on the other hand, is a much slower deck. You can grind out a lot of matchups that the Evolved Shaman can't really get through. So there's different takes on how you want to go through the meta, if you want to go for the more grindy games or you want to go for the faster, more aggressive games. And seeing as how ladder functions, aggressiveness, when two decks are equal, the aggressive deck usually wins out because of more matches you can get in.
Yep, but this time around, it's just going to be a Quest Shaman mirror. No aggression here. They're going the long game as well. And we have seen Lisbon's special take here, which is Plague of Murlocs. Really good against decks like Combo Priest, but not as good in the mirror. Actually putting them at a slight disadvantage. They're opting to, of course, ditch that card, but they have just drawn it off the top. Both players have a decent start here. Brussels, obviously, or not obviously, coining that totem and now buffing it up so it can create more of these juicy lackeys, which are going to complete their quest nice and quickly.
Yeah, getting these quest completion done, basically with this totem, it's already created 2 and is most likely create 3 or even more lackeys, will be crucial to actually go forward here and be able to basically win out using as least amount of resources to actually get the quest done so you can use them afterwards, all the good resources afterwards when you have a hero power active.
Exactly. And we also see now that Lisbon has drawn 2 cards that interact with Evolve really nicely for them. So they're missing just 1 card to complete that puzzle. As soon as they draw Evolve, they are probably going to run with this game. But it has to happen soon. If it happens too late, then this hand doesn't do much yet.
Yeah, so if the Evolve comes down or it gets picked up next turn, they have a super explosive turn to go through. There's still opportunities to go with like stuff like Mind Control Tech, and they have a Sludge Shredder picked up. And with the 2 Questing Explorers as they started with, even though Brussels has been getting a lot of value out of that totem, Lisbon is not shy on the actual card advantage due to these Questing Explorers pulling their weight.
Yeah, and they might end up getting the Evolve Lackey. But right now, that's the board they're facing is not really something they can deal with effectively. They needed to have the Sandstorm Elemental or some sort of Evolve just to tempo this out. They're not in that position. Although that Lackey is a pretty good find here for them. They're actually able to clear the majority of this board if they choose to.
Yeah, they have a lot of options here going for now, and one of the problems with pulling that
They found the rush.
That's the best one. Or I would argue maybe the totem was as good, but this is a solid way to go by, and then just
they're
reducing.
Also not playing their Mogul Flay Shaper here just to play around the MC Tech.
Yeah, and also
I'm not
playing
sure if it's
around.
correct.
They're also playing around the opponent's Mogul Flay Shaper by doing this. It will be more expensive now.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. The question is was it worth it? I think probably. They have too many cards that they can't really anticipate in Brussels' hands.
Yeah, there's at least one more lackey and a lot of good stuff. Another rush lackey though coming into hand, and it's a good lackey, but it's not necessarily the lackey you want in every type of situations like this.
You still play it, I think. You still just use it on the 2-1 to trade into the 3-3. Yeah.
Get a lovely trade here.
And now they wasted all of their mana, but they have and they can just go ham, summoning 2 drops.
Turn 4 quest completion is quite fast.
Yeah. Lisbon are not as close, but if they can get a hold of this board, if they can get a hold of Evolve, it wouldn't matter. Here it is. Yeah, that's gonna be huge next turn.
Yeah, so now the question is how you trade here. If you're going to use the Cobble Lackey as well. And
I think
seems like that's the plan here. Just using up as much as possible going forward. The thing is, you're not overloaded, and you can do Hero Power Desert here Evolve next turn if you want.
And you will.
Yeah,
I mean, you will if
the board is cleared, yeah.
I suppose if you don't draw, if the board is full, then they draw something like a Sandstorm Elemental. That might be the play, and then they just don't do double Battle Cry, perhaps, if it works out.
All hairs. We see the board getting cleared here.
That's just too juicy to pass on, and I think the Mogul Flay Shaper is gonna 1 mana.
Yes, it's going to.
So that's not going to be playable.
Yeah, 1 mana too expensive. Unfortunately, would be lovely to fit that in as well. Do the value trade and then do the lovely Evolve on top of it. But Lisbon, though, on the other hand, is considering not playing this. I think because with the Cable Rat pickup, they can do like a Hero Power Cable Rat and play both the lackeys that come out of it, if they so pleases, and set up a board that is more resilient for next turn. And be able to have more mana so they can actually do the full combo.
I think you always go for the power play with Desert Hair Evolve, though. It's just too much tempo for 2 for too little resistance on the other side of the board. I mean, even if the worst case scenario happens and an MC Tech is played with double battle cry, it's probably not enough to counter the board.
Yeah, so let's
they're
see
going for
what
it.
we get here. This will be 5/4 mana minion.
off, maybe?
Ooh.
That's a pretty juicy evolve.
3/6 stat line, a 4/3 with the Divine Shield. The 4/1 is a bit meh, but
They
this
have just seen Sandstorm Elemental.
yeah. This 3-mana 3/3 here is a juicy pickup here as well, being able to draw some spells out of the deck.
Which is one more mutate and one more evolve, if I'm not mistaken.
It should be because they have the Plague of Murlocs in hand. So
Yeah, that's one mutate and one more evolve. They've just played the first evolve. These are the two spells remaining for them in the deck right now.
yeah, so being able to tutor those could be provide really good for extra refill for later. Now though, for Brussels' sake though, there is a lot of issues going forward because this is a board that's dangerous. Like, you know your opponent doesn't play Bloodlust, you're not afraid of stuff like that, but there's still a lot of other stuff that needs to be done. This is good as clear as any, I guess. Clearing up most of this. There's still a 1-mana Mogu Flesh Shaper here.
Yeah, now you always open with Evil Cable Rat.
Yeah, and then you use your lackeys. Yeah. You can get like the second evolve or the mutate no matter what, and then you can either evolve the whole board or just the Mogu Flesh Shaper.
You could also be really cheeky and just develop a white board and then mutate it for the War Leader Bluegill Warrior high roll.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna do that though.
Spell
Oh, that's a good one. These are the two best ones I think they could have gotten.
That's the evolve. Yeah, instant pick that evolve. Big bad.
Wouldn't they go with Lightning Bolt just to finish that game soon?
Oh, your opponent is at 30. If you actually push a little bit face, that.
But you're so close. You have a lot of damage on board already, and then you have that Life Drinker in hand, and you've just drawn the other evolve as well.
Let's see here though, doing the full trade and then the first evolve.
Maybe double evolve.
Anything?
Yeah, the double evolve.
Let's see here. Wow, Malygos.
And there's no second MC Tech here. Actually, there's no first MC Tech here. I think Lisbon were the ones who played the first one.
Yeah, so there's no MC Tech in Bristol's. Ethereal Lackeys can do miracles though. Let's see what we get: a Feral Spirit, Witch Brew, and a Blazing Invocation. The Blazing Invocation can pick you up something, but this turn you're getting low on mana.
Yeah, they don't have mana to Plague of Murlocs anymore. What could they find? Evolve doesn't do anything here. Fort Lightning doesn't do anything either. These minions cost too much.
So Beakered Lightning, Soul of the Murloc.
Maybe they find double Beakered and do something.
Oh,
that's
another
double
Beakered.
Yeah,
That's a Plague of Murlocs, meaning they can do like Plague of Murlocs.
They're just dead though. They're just, that's 8, 14, 20 damage. Yeah, that's game. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a quick way, and then this is one of the reasons why people find it a little bit frustrating to play versus this kind of deck though. As you see the explosive turns there, that was a turn 7, and you vomit out. Whoa, it's 5 minutes, it's 20 mana worth of stuff, and you pay 7 mana for it.
The thing with the Evolve package is that now Quest Shaman benefits a lot from the burst it gives because it's a deck that kind of likes it. It has sustained board presence, but that board presence is not explosive enough. It's usually like medium and small sized minions that eventually opponent. That explosive boost they get with Evolve in the early game, especially with Hair, is insane. And it's so insane that the strongest deck right now is actually a deck that deserted that quest and went full on for these explosive tempo bursts. Evolved giants, things that capitalize on just warming the board and making it stronger. And I think we've seen why. The quest version of Quest Shaman disappointed Brussels, while the evolve aspect of it rewarded Lisbon.
Yeah, as you see here, though, the here and the evolve is picked up here by Lisbon, going in forward here. So we might just see a turn 3 and evolve coming down. That might.
Yeah, I think we're definitely see that. Brussels are not going to have enough power to respond to it. They do not have Consecration currently in hand, even if that Thalma somehow survives. It doesn't bode well. Like we have seen how powerful that play is. We're going to see it again. Although Brussels have just drawn pretty well.
Yeah, got all the card draw, Crystology, Prismatic Lens, and everything. So.
And Holy Ref, the meme draw.
So they can get through the deck quite fast now, but this coin out first, like, really puts your heart to the rise there for Brussels, and just seeing how this goes. It's a bit.
These are not amazing though. These are okay.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah, these are not amazing enough to even warrant Brussels to actually play their True Silver here. They're just going to take that damage.
Yeah, the quest is a 2/6 though, and you have a Cable Rat and a Sludge Slurper in hand, meaning you can finish this quest off in a couple of few turns now. This board though, like, as you said though, since this is Quest Shaman as well, they don't have the explosiveness. If this was the non-quest variant, you will like, oh well, I have a wide board, I can just Bloodlust and kill the opponent. But this doesn't have this kind of situation here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the average games between that OTK Paladin and Quest Shaman, then I think the Paladin really struggles ever since the Shaman got evolved in its toolkit. But right now, since they didn't get the most powerful evolve and Brussels got all the draw imaginable pretty much, it's going to be a pretty rough ride for Lisbon here. Like, Brussels are just going to have the answers for almost every turn because of that amazing draw engine going their way. It actually seems way rougher than I thought for Lisbon, although they had a really powerful start.
Yeah, but setting this up though, with the possibility of Barista next turn, getting a Barista flu back into hand so you can Barista next turn as well.
Yeah, and there's still no Consecration and there's still no timeout. So that like, if Brussels don't find any of these cards fast, they're gonna lose. I mean, there's nothing they can do to this board so far. There's no Pyromancer either. They've drawn a lot, but not the right cards. They've drawn just more draw.
Yeah, that's the problem, which is Paladin. Like, you want the most of the card draw, but you need something to basically stop the aggression so you can actually spend mana on card draw. And currently their hand is so full because they've just been spending the first turn on drawing cards. So they can't really effectively draw good here as well. Like, they can draw the Prismatic Lens, but what does that do even? Because they have 1 mana left over, and they just need to calculate how's the possibility that they just die from this board presence.
I was getting too excited too soon. I saw all these. Surely they'll have the answers ready, but they don't. And they're even going for a card burn just to try and reach the removal tool, just to try and reach that Pyromancer, try and reach that Consecration. They're going to take more damage here.
Yeah, here
a lot more damage.
Bunch of lackeys back into hand. A Wrathly Weaponsmith. There's a lot of stuff coming back into hand here now.
Yeah, that's more than 6 damage, 8 damage visible that Lisbon have just returned to their hand. They also have the life drink, and Brussels are on 16 HP. Even less, right? They're going to be on 11? 10, something like that, at the end of this
11.
turn. Yeah,
Depending.
11 HP. That spells death next turn if timeout isn't played. Yeah, now Lisbon was probably going to debate about that mutate. Do they mutate? What are they going to mutate? They're going.
That's
to
a
drop.
good. That's a good one to hit though.
Yeah, that's 2 more damage sticking on the board.
Yeah, even if you get the board clear now, because they're at 6 mana, and 6 mana is Pyro equality territory, but none of the cards are in hand for Brussels.
Yep, no pyro, no cons, no timeout. They're just gonna have to play Crystal Smith Kangor, heal for 12, although they're gonna take, I presume, 2 damage at least. Oh, here's that timeout. They can't play that this turn, but they can play the next one.
They have the option to subdue now to reduce some of the damage, removing some of this damage that's here, and just hope that your opponent doesn't have enough. You're up at 21, and it's not that much damage showing. Ooh. Weaponize.
Is that lethal? That's 6 damage. If you add it up with 10 damage, how much damage is on board? Not enough. It's really close, but it's not enough. There is currently 8 damage on board.
So now it's just finding out where you should send this damage. Do you use the Kobold now to just clear off this Crystal Smith Kangor?
I think you do.
Because you have the Life Drinker for next turn as well, so...
Yeah, I think you just remove the Crystal Smith and face.
Yeah, go face with everything else, and then you have Life Drinker for next turn.
Job done.
Yeah. Ever since Paladin, I don't know actually what happened to Paladin. I wanted to say that they're running, but they're actually not. They're running a version without Thorson. What I was gonna say is that since Thorson and sometimes even the N'Zoth package polluted the Holy Wrath lists, it became less predictable in terms of the removals it could play. But this version is just the regular Holy Wrath Paladin, and it's still struggling to find removal. We have still not seen a Pyromancer. We have still not seen Consecration.
There's a Pyromancer in hand now. I think the card I picked up to cost 5 mana now is a Pyromancer.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That means they have a clear.
Yeah, you have a clear with the... But you have to use the Elven Archer as well. Oh, the Pyromancer. Oh, they picked up a 2 mana Pyromancer as well, which is even better. So they can clear without the Elven Archer.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not gonna hold it. That's not gonna be enough. We see the Life Drinker that can do 6 damage, and then we have an additional. Yeah, they actually won off.
Yeah, one off lethal here. So if they pick up the Kobold Lackey, but they did not do that. The option there is if yeah.
I think what they do is just go with flooding the moving that.
Yeah,
and just
basically
saving that.
basically saying you need to answer this. Oh, this Hogshead as well, being able to clear off this Pyro, making the board harder to remove. Also, equipping the weapon now means that you can push that damage, set up lethal for next turn with the Life Drinker. Even equipping the axe twice just to hit even harder.
Just for BM value.
That's the Zephyrs being active though.
Yeah, but the Zephyrs can clear and heal at the same time.
No, but you can heal a little bit with the Flash of Light you just picked up.
Let me think.
So options here. They played 2 Prismatic Lens.
They need Shirvala, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't think they spent enough mana for it.
Yeah, I don't think they spent enough. They spent like 12, 14 mana.
They're definitely in a pickle. They're gonna have to go for the clear and just not there, they're gonna be disappointed. But I think that's what they're gonna have to do.
Well, with
They're
the
gonna
flash
heal
of
for
light,
4.
they should be able to survive.
I must move quickly.
You heal to 4, you have 9, which again puts you 1 HP out of.
Timeout is good.
I mean, if they manage to actually pick up a decent Shirvala, oh, they're not going for it. No, that's still they still survive here, unless of course the correct lackey is picked up.
Yeah, so Lisbon is once again put in the spot where they're one of lethal here.
So you're gonna press the hero power. You actually don't have the mana. You don't have the mana to play the Kobold Lackey with the Life Drinker just because of that overloaded mana crystal. I think you may just again go for developing the board somewhat. Maybe just draw cards with Novice.
Get the cable right out there so you can actually get.
That's
Lackey
good.
double.
That's really good.
It's a lot of card generation.
In theory, you can get quadruple lightning. Okay,
Lightning
that's
bolt.
one. Ah! Oh, that's a lot of bursts.
There is little time.
That's a lot. That's a lot of bursts coming in the hand right now. It's never gonna be lethal because they don't have the mana, but that's an insane pickup. Yeah, they're clearing the board. They're hitting the face, maybe. That game is, yeah. The Shaman is just relentless, and Shivala wasn't picked. There's no more draw. They're gonna have to. I think they might actually just Holy Wrath the face here, trying to get Shivala.
Yeah. How many cards are left in the
that
deck,
might
though?
be the turn. I think they have like what 5, 6 cards left in the deck. I'm actually not sure.
If they hit
Okay.
Shirvala, they have lethal with the Consecrate as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just go for Shivala here, and you,
Yeah, and,
like
and
worst
if
come
you
to
don't
worst,
hit it, you just time out. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can even fit in a Zephyrs if you want. So here
Well,
goes
they're
the Holy Rat. Let's see what it hits.
they're going for it.
That's 4 damage. That's not enough.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. I'm still wondering how many cards they have left in the deck. If we can maybe mouse over their deck. They have 2 cards left, so that was a 33% chance to actually hit with Shivala here.
And just win the game straight up.
Yeah, you just maybe win the game next turn.
So if they pick up Holy Wrath, they won. If they pick Shirvala, they might heal.
Wait,
out
do
of-
they win? If they pick Holy Wrath, there's still 1 card or 2 cards
Yeah.
in the deck?
If they hit Holy Wrath, there's only Shirvala left in the deck. So we see here.
I mean,
Lucky. Lava per. Oh, big. Ooh, that's huge.
I mean, these ethereal lackeys are not. They keep finding the correct cards. They just got healing when they needed. They got burn to prepare for the depot. I mean, I can't believe Brussels actually got there. They got the Wild Pyromancer just in time, in the nick of time, and they were 1 damage above being dead for 2 turns
Yeah,
straight.
2 turns in a row.
I'm almost out of cards.
Oh,
Okay, now they got Shirvala, which means they can't go for a Holy Wrath this turn. So I think what they might have to do is just play it here because they don't have a choice. Like, they're dead next turn. They don't have any more... Yeah, they don't have any more timeouts. They don't have the other Holy Wrath. They probably just have to heal. They just needed to survive now.
yeah. The problem is how do you clear this board as well? Because even if you heal for 7, if you leave up like lots of this,
You can just
die.
cons and play Shirvala, and that should be fine.
Yeah, and with the Baleful Banker.
Yeah, I think you might even double Baleful. And then the question is, do they even survive past stat because there's 6 damage coming from the Life Drinker, there's 4 damage coming from the Cobalt, and then there's 6 more damage coming from Lightning Bolt plus 2 more from weapons.
Yeah, that
So
should be lethal. Yeah.
that's 8 plus 6. That's lethal. That's just
Yeah,
lethal in spite of the Shivala.
Yeah. So Lisbon got there in the end, but it was so close here, though. Like if that pickup,
Double Lightning Bolt. I mean, Ethereal Lackey is pretty much the big win. Ethereal Lackey has gotten just the right discovers here to actually keep the spawn in the game.
getting the Witch's Brew to be able to heal up to 30 so you don't die to Holy Wrath, or you thought you wouldn't die to Holy Wrath. The thing was, if the Holy Wrath was picked up instead of that Shivala, they would have won because they would do Holy Wrath and then that would hit Shivala, do 25 damage. Then you play Zephyrs and then you do Lava Burst for 3 mana.
Yep, that actually.
So that was a 50. That was a 50-50 in the end there, all the way.
And now Brussels is queuing their last deck, the Rogue. So far, it's Quest Shaman. I don't know what to call it. The Quest Shaman party. It just eliminates Brussels here today, and they're queuing that Rogue, which should be, at least as far as I'm concerned, better than the Paladin in this matchup. I think it's favored. I'm not sure. I think most people think it's favored.
Yeah, it's ladder favored, I guess, but it's not maybe like tournament favored. And it's fairly as well. Like general ladder stats put it at like a couple of percentage points in Tempo Rogue's favor, but the thing is that regular ladder play is not 3 people that are high-ranking people that went to Bucharest playing one deck together. So
that's what we have here today.
Yeah, a lot of people like to say, well, Quest Shaman and Volt Shaman is just so face roll is easy to play, but there's so many micro decisions that decides whether or not it's good.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I am. And this game could be over before it even starts.
Yeah, and just playing that Ethereal Lackey already constitutes his BM. I mean, the MVP from last game makes a return to this one. I think you always pick Lightning Storm.
Totemic Surge? Always pick Totemic Surge. No,
I mean, Farsight is okay too, I suppose. But I mean, I think just because of the massive tempo player about to make, you just want to make sure they can't gain tempo back, and Lightning Storm is pretty good in that.
Yeah, that seems quite fair. I would agree. Just having a hedge for anything the shenanigans this rogue can do.
Yeah, that's a good choice in my opinion. I mean, the thing with Tempo Rogue is that if you think about fair games, then Tempo Rogue, unless it gets some crazy thing from a Burgle mechanic, is just a fair tempo deck that's really good at securing tempo. But Quest Shaman, again, with that explosive package that's going to be played next turn, is going to create a formidable board. There's no MC tech on Brussels' side. There's no board clear. There's no magic answer to a board of 4/4s. Not 4/4s, 4-drop, sorry.
But now's the dangerous thing, though. Like, this Lightning Storm is very tempting to use now because you kill this questing adventure.
I think you still go for the hair evolve just because that board is going to have to bump into your board of 3-drops, 4-drops, sorry, and on average you're going to have at least 1, maybe even 1.5 minions surviving, which is probably better than Lightning Storm, and then you're gonna have 3 mana for the next turn, still not going to be able to play your evolve turn. And they even missed on killing that underbelly something. Underbelly what?
Fence.
Underbelly fence, right? So,
yeah, so
I think that was rushed.
Yeah, the problem with not using that Lightning Storm is that your opponent has coin in hand and it's rolled, so they could just grow it up to like a 6/6 or 7/7 and in value trades. And if you low roll the 4-drops, you can actually like being stuck with 1 minion and facing down like 2-3 minions from the rogue side and gigantic questing adventure. So they did a safe play, but that also delays the desert here turn because now they only have 3 mana next turn as well.
Yeah, and while their mana efficiency is, damaged, the rogue is just going to redevelop minion board. Like, what are they going to do this turn? Like, it's a pretty dead turn. They're going to be overloaded again. They're not playing full mana efficiency
Another
here.
questing is picked up as well. And this questing can be played with the cable rat and coin and everything.
And smite even to just kill this 2/2 if it doesn't
Yeah.
get the correct lackey, of course.
So many.
Actually, I don't think you play it. I think you always play the smite. Just opens up the possibility of an MC tech.
Yeah. This gives you all the options, giving you questing adventure up to 5/5 here. With the Volve Lackey as well, being able to trigger next turn. This desert here has to be something juicy here now, or this rogue will take off with the game here now. And what will we see?
Oh,
Well,
these are prime.
These are
formats.
prime stats, yeah.
These are really good ones. Imagine if they got that on turn 4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the board they're facing on turn 6. It's way better equipped to deal with this than a board than the board they had on turn 4. So I think that Lightning Storm, maybe they could have taken slightly more time to debate this. I'm pretty sure it was a mishap.
So for this sake, though, you can grow this. So, getting those extra lackeys in hand, you have so much resources now as rogue, and you even have the Heist Baron, Toggle. So many witchy lackeys though, and you need to kill this Thunderhead though, because you know there's a Sludge Slurper left. Or do you even?
I don't think so. I think you just play around MC Tech and go face.
That might be.
I mean, what? No, they're not doing that. Okay.
Not playing around both. Oh, well, get
wow.
rewarded by the Sludge Slurper just getting picked up here.
Yeah, they got rewarded for sure. I mean, that top deck
It's a safe
could have
play.
been painful.
Well, that also dictates what Brussels are thinking. They were basically dictating whether they are aggressor or they're the defender here. If they went face there, put your opponent down to 16 health, and then you just say, well, I don't care with your board, I just kill you. But this rogue isn't built as like the old tempo rogue that can just do 16 from hand. So
Yeah, and now Lisbon is facing a pretty difficult turn. I think they opened correctly. 2 out of 6 lackeys. The Rush lackey, the Goblin lackey, and the Kobold lackey were 2 really good lackeys to pick up here because those would allow them to clear the 7/4 without trading the 5/5. They did not get that lackey, either of these lackeys, and now they're just going for Plan B.
getting prime stats though.
Oh, actually, wow! They actually can clear this. I actually didn't think about the quest being behind with at least 1 more battle cry.
Yeah, now for Bristle's sake though, having picked up that Lightning Storm could be super crucial.
Do you play it though?
Like
Don't you just trade Evolve and play your
Heist Baron?
Togwaggle? Yeah,
Yeah. That might be better.
I think it's better.
What do you want from the Togwaggle now? You have full hand. Do you still want the
I think you go for 2 legendaries and then you storm clear next turn and develop 2 massive legendaries that Lisbon is not capable of dealing with.
Yeah,
And
because
they're
this one-
disagreeing with me. I mean, people today are just really keen on lightning storms. Maybe
Yeah.
it's stormy and cold outside, or maybe I'm just probably this is the latter.
So getting the value trade here, Witchy Lackey coming down. 1/6 taunt is not what you're looking for, so I think this is a redo. Let's see, what's the second one? 5/4.
Oh, that's okay.
It's a better stat line at least.
What are we doing here?
This Witchwood Piper would draw the
Second evil cable rat, maybe.
second cable rat, or the evil totem, or novice engineer. So, oh, that combo,
That's a
like
good
you know,
pickup.
ooh, that's exactly what they were looking for here, and just developing this 2/3 questing explorer here. But now the high Sparran toggle will come down, and it can actually be evolved as well. Seeing now they empty the hand
No,
a
it
little bit more.
can it? It can.
Oh no, they've overloaded, of course.
I
Well-
think the shaman is just gonna steamroll from this point on. Like it's just gonna draw cards. It's just gonna have healing. It's gonna have damage. It's gonna have board clears.
So much value coming in.
Yeah, and I mean,
Well,
the
they have,
shaman
they
needs
have a
to
hand
really
here.
win.
Like, if they draw the Edwin now, they have an opportunity. They draw the cards. If they pull Edwin, might be a really big Edwin. Sap is...
Really bad. Oh, that's.
Oof.
Oh, these are just
Oh,
horrible.
these are awful.
And that's why I like the two legendaries. I mean, this is a tempo deck. This is a tempo matchup. You go for maximum tempo. The medium-sized, small-sized things in your deck, although they're good at getting tempo, when you're facing against a weak deck with a 2/3, a 0/2, and a 1/1, I think getting, you know, 2 Gruuls, 2 Deathwings, 2 Cairns is way better than digging, you know, for medium stuff in your deck at best.
Just get 2 Vargots. That's like the high roll.
2 Vargovs, that's even better. I mean, it's worse against the double MC deck, but still. Yeah, Vargov could have been really fun. But now they're just not developing anything on the board one more time. And the Quest Shaman just beats you every time if you give it more time.
So what is Lisbon's draw here? Novice engineered for a more fill here.
Yeah, that's just gonna wrap this up, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's just gonna Lisbon's hand together. It's gonna find something, get them closer to that Shadow Walk. Gonna be really tough for Brussels.
Yeah, being able to trade with this Cobble Lackey as well. And then building up like a questing explorer as well on top of it with the evil totem. Or even just using a micro tech if they want. But it seems like the evil totem is the way to go here.
Yeah, and that River Crocolisk 1 drop and 0 same board from last turn.
Yeah, basically back to square one.
Yeah, and Brussels don't have anything here.
Well, they have a
probably
they have a
looking for-
cat. They have a cat and they have an evil cable rat. So and cats and cable rats can do.
Colossus of the Moon confirmed.
Yeah. Let's see. Oof. That's a small reborn minion. It's
I
one of
don't
the
know what
smallest.
they're. I think they might just Shadow Step this. What are you gonna Shadow Step now?
Oh, this is spicy actually. This is actually quite cool. And you equip
I
the
mean-
weapon?
Yeah, you probably play the weapon just because of MC Tech, which is actually finally present in Lisbon's hand.
That's a desert here.
You just play it, I think, and you evolve one of them. That's okay. That's a 5-drop.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of 1/1s that's just annoying as well.
Yeah.
And the rogue doesn't run any AoE besides stuff like Ethereal Lackey, as we've seen already in this matchup. So
guess
Lisbon
you
here has a lot of
also-
options though.
Just so that 2/3 can't actually trade 2 minions, could trade 1, and that's it.
Yeah, if you Sandstorm, yeah.
Do we have Myras actually for Brussels here? Let me see.
They have Siamath instead as a top end.
Yeah, no Myras. Like the Togwaggle is a really powerful tool, but they whiffed on that treasure. Yeah, the wand. I think it's the treasure that draws. Yeah, the Wanderer's wand wasn't kind to them this turn. This game. Well, I think they picked the wrong one. Maybe I'm still debating this. I think it was the wrong one.
Ooh,
Oh, wow, that's nice.
getting big Rushman in here. Ooh, that's 12 damage from hand, but that doesn't help because they just heal tons of damage now.
That's 12 damage. They have 3 with the weapon, right? So that's
That's
already 15. That's more than half.
More than half, yeah.
More than half. That's pretty okay. And they have 2 more on top of that. So that's impressive. I think their only hope now is try to somehow cheat that. Maybe they even play Leroy and Shadow Step it now because they can top deck the next Shadow Step. And they just go all face. I think their only out here is Ethereal. What is it gonna find? Academic espionage. I guess they're just gonna play espionage here.
Yeah, or assassinate. Just get rid of that 5/6. And just do some board clear up.
That feels bad. Okay, so they're just playing and thinking to themselves, okay, maybe they won't think our will somehow be better.
Oh, that's the wrong target to hit that. Their plan there was to, yeah, that plan there was to do it on the kill rats to be able to.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not going to trade it.
Brussels here. Oh, getting the.
It's a prime 4-drop.
Yeah, best 4-drop in the game without stat or if you don't have stats. So sap is an opportunity here. It's a free sap. Being able to play this miscreant to get as many lackey as possible.
As many ethereal lackeys. Oh, these are 2 good lackeys.
Walk the black.
These are not good cards. I guess to just go for wanted.
Yeah, why not? And wanted is yeah, and wanted is not the same as overkill. What I'm supposed to say. Ooh, that's
yeah, and actually, like that's an okay draw for Lisbon. It's not like any card. Like if we see Shadow Walk or more draw or more lackey generation, like or even burn, these are all cards that can just close the game for Lisbon here. But they have not drawn these cards. Like they're.
Ooh, that's a good card though. Siamat.
That's actually really dangerous. If Bond whiffs 2 turns in a row, then they're gonna be in a pickle.
So you can Divine Shield Rush now. Kill the.
Are we seeing Divine? I think we see Wind Fury actually.
To double clear, if you do the Divine
no,
Shield...
you just clear 1 or you clear. I mean, you just want it to be the biggest threat it can be, right?
Oh yeah, true. If you do Wind Fury, you can just clear 1, and then you can just use like
and
Lackey to clear the other. Yeah.
Yep, and then you yeah, exactly. That's the best thing they can hope to do here.
Sets up lots of damage though. 14 damage or 15 damage with the dagger. Showing here. Lisbon now though pulls an evolve as a dead draw.
They whiffed. So that's 12 damage. 14, 15 plus 6. That's 21 damage. Okay, Brussels whiff 2. I think if we see Lisbon whiffing 1 more time, it's the end of the game.
Yeah.
That game was quite insane. That Siamat is maybe better than Myra's here even. Not really, but it's doing the job.
Yeah. So the Brussels are now contemplating what kind of card could it be that could not be played, and I think they've come to the conclusion that it has to be stuff like Evolve, Mutate, or yeah, that's basically everything else would be
Mutate,
played.
so it has to be Evolve.
Because even like a Barista Lynch would come down this turn.
Yeah, just to soak up the Siamat.
Yep, because They know that Brussels need to clear because, well, they're at 8 health.
So this spawn needs Shadow Walk here. What else could work? I think they played both Sandstorm Elementals. Or do they still have one more in the deck?
They played both, I think. They played one
If
early
they
and one.
played both, then Shadow Walk is good. The second one, if they didn't. I guess second Life Drinker is also fine. That is it?
Well, second Life Drinker keeps you alive on board, but it doesn't keep you alive on the
No,
Leroy.
they're dead. They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead now with the Leroy.
One over. Wow.
What an excellent play here from
Wow.
Brussels to actually take this game and actually putting something on the scoreboard. And as we said, this rogue could spare or could be issues for Lisbon going forward here now.
Yep, I think the Rogue is a really good choice. What I'm still like, what still kind of bugs me is that turn where Lisbon had a choice. Do we create a board with 3 4-drops, or do we go for the Lightning Storm? They went for the Lightning Storm without a plan B, without a plan to play anything good the following turn. And because of that, they kind of gave too much tempo to Brussels. I think the game would look on that. Yeah, but we can't know for sure. And Brussels did play to their outs. They got the CMA, and it survived. I think the Wind Fury spot there was really smart. They recognized they have to kill them ASAP, and they picked the Wind Fury, although it gets picked up by Shadow Walk.
Yeah. So here though for Lisbon though, they have tons of card draw though going forward here with the prismatic lenses, Crystology on turn 1. Brussels are kind of whiffing on the turn 2, so just a dagger.
Yeah, they're gonna have a pretty good turn 3 though.
Yeah. And possibly turn 4 if they want as well.
Possibly. Oh, that even gives them a value trade. I think we'll always see a 6/6 Edwin here. There's so far we can see there's no decent way to actually cope with that for this bond. Let's look at their list. I'm actually not sure if they have Subdue. They do have one copy of Subdue, so that's something that can be picked up. It is not picked up. Still, they have a good hand. They can survive at least 2 turns for sure with the double timeout in hand.
Yeah. The pickup from the second cat though is the new Paladin Reborn minion, which is juicy. It's a 4/2 Reborn with lifesteal, which is basically a huge threat because it's sticky. It's hard to kill for Lisbon here and might be able to dish out even some more damage here.
And it can keep you at full health for that Shirvala.
Yeah, that as well. So the coin here is he's thinking of coining out True Silver and then going Hammer.
I think you either coin True Silver or you coin Prismatic. The question is, which one do you coin? I think you may have to just coin True Silver here, sending a hit in the direction of the 1/2, and then just picking up the Edwin next turn with the Hammer of Wrath plus weapon hit.
Oh, going the other way around, Hammer of Wrath first.
I think that's slightly less optimal, just because it makes you take more damage over the course of these 2 turns, and also you're not healing.
Oh, that's a Wild Pyromancers. Then they're a few cards away from just being able to clear this board. Now they're taking 6 more healing too, so that's 4 more
Yeah,
damage.
Brussels are a couple of turns away from just killing them.
Yeah, with his Leroy in hand, Eviscerate. Having also
Do
the
you
option
play
of this-
Leroy?
Leroy.
It's tempting, right?
It's very tempting, but this Blink Fox is also juicy here. Whew, picking up a timeout as well.
No, actually, that's really good for them.
Yeah, that might be good if somehow Lisbon managed to get out of this the problems they're in at the moment. This might be huge. So we will see the timeout coming out this turn, I presume, with also trading something.
Yeah, you play. Actually, that's a little bit problematic. I think you just play timeout first, and you just hit the 4-2.
Yeah. Yeah, you were thinking Wild Pyromancer and then timeout to just
Yeah, you
declare?
can't actually weave in the Wild Power Man efficiently, so don't. So if you don't, what do? You play the timeout and you play Novice, maybe not first.
Oh, playing the.
I would actually prefer keeping it, but since they don't have a healing spell in hand currently or survive, I feel like they have to do this. Okay, that's fair enough.
Puts you up to 11. Ooh, this backstab pickup is huge though. Means you being able to proc this miscreant without actually sacrificing something, healing 2 less on the side of Lisbon. Oh, you're actually playing the Carthage Defender instead because it's, well,
Immune to board clears.
yeah, it's awkward to remove. And if you board clear once here for Lisbon, they're still dead to Leroy. So they need to either time out or stuff like Shrink Ray to survive.
I think they have to shrink ray. Could they do anything else here except for timeout, which you really don't want to play? I mean, because you want to save the timeout for next turn where you can play.
Yeah. Currently now there's nothing like you can do like a novice. Can't really get a good good timeout this turn. Playing the Shrink Ray now puts you down to, or makes it to be 3 damage or more, 4 with the dagger, and then it's Leroy.
It's
summoning.
lethal, actually. I think. No, it's sorry, it's not lethal. It's a couple damage off.
Yeah, the second Eviscerate draw is of course lethal, but they already seen one, so they just try to find out what's the probability of actually dying next turn. And this sets up, well, this does nothing.
Well, that's just an annoying CMAT, probably.
Yeah, play a
Divine
CMAP.
Shield Wind Fury.
Yeah, seems like a good minion.
A very sticky and scary minion. As we see, there's no easy way to deal with that. Double Pyromancer is not what they want here. I think we're just gonna see the Prismatic Lens
With
and
the timeout.
yeah, and the timeout. They're just trying to prolong this game. Maybe they'll find some magic answer, but no timeouts remaining is really bad for them.
I wonder.
Because this board is pretty much immune to board clears.
Yeah. Like you need 2 procs on Pyromancer if you want to board clear this. You can of course do the Wild Pyromancer and timeout this turn, just to clear off the first part of it, and then you do like Wild Pyromancer, and then you need to draw like Subdue next turn. Clear the other.
Yes, I kind of like just drawing something now.
Yeah, with the Prismatic Lens. Drawing 2 cards is always good.
I mean, you could do what you said because you still draw 1.
Yeah, with the Novice. They're quite a pickle here now.
Yeah, it's not an easy turn. I think both plays are deep. They're just still
they're going
bad.
for the Prismatic Lens. That's a
Ooh.
Shivala.
Okay, are we back in this?
Well, Kangor is gone, so they can't heal for 14, but they can heal for a little bit.
Like the problem now is that they actually don't have a spell to pair with Pyromancer.
Oh yeah, the Crystology cosplay.
They can't use that Wild Pyromancer to do anything.
So just Hero Power up and just like, well, your turn once more. You need to clear everything, because if one
It's
minion...
a spell. It's a spell. We found a spell. It's happening. The dream is coming true for them.
So you play Wild Pyromancer, Prismatic Lens, you draw 2 cards, one of them is a spell.
One of them is a spell for sure, right? And it's not gonna because
If
you're
you
valid.
draw Subdue with like something that costs 2 mana, like the second Novice Engineer. other
I
things you
don't
pick
know what
up.
they're doing here. Yeah, I think they have to open with Wild Pyromancer. There's the other thing that they can think about, which is shuffling Shirvallas first so they can draw Shirvallah with Prismatic, but that's really bad because they need 2 spells for Pyromancer.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna have to do, and they're gonna have to do it fast.
Yeah, the thing is, like, this Carto Defender will survive, so they can't really Shivala into the Siamat, which they want to do.
No, they will be able
That's
to
like
with this.
But
With this subdue, they're clearing the board. They just need to play the Shirvallah. Do they have time? Do they have time?
No,
Oh,
there wasn't
it's
any
fine.
way because they needed to draw the subdue to 2 mana because they needed to get through this
yeah.
Carto Defender.
It costed 3.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So
I forgot about it.
the Rogue is taking 2 wins now, and it's down to this Priest from Lisbon to actually see if they can answer this Rogue. It's been wreaking
That's
havoc
one of
after
the
it managed to beat
The Rogue is hunting, right?
Yeah, one of the decks you're hunting with Rogue. So.
Yeah, and that's why the Rogue is a really big ban candidate for Lisbon, and it's also probably the deck I thought was the deck to watch for Brussels. It's a deck that can swipe or sweep. I'm not sure actually right now. In an LHS format like this, and it's brought Brussels back from a 0-2 disadvantage. That's a great hand from Brussels here as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough game for Lisbon. Oh wow, that's gonna activate the Vendetta for sure.
Yeah, but backstab to kill this.
Backstabbing, yeah. And that you also have an activator.
That's the Northshire Cleric.
Yeah, you play it. You're not.
Yeah, and then you're getting Vendetta. So, or they can even.
Now the question is, do you Vendetta? I think you just coin extra arms.
Yeah, coin extra arms is also super sweet here. Or. Yeah.
Okay,
Miscreant
so that's just committing the Vendetta. Fair enough.
Extra arms is even better on the Miscreant, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a circle, though.
Yeah, they needed the cleric to survive. Now throwing minions, Brussels are gonna have answer. They're gonna slowly take the tempo from Lisbon here. Lisbon are gonna need to find a good top deck, and without cleric to start that draw engine, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, they need stuff like Cleric, Pyromancer, and everything, so you just draw everything. They do have Bone Samdi and stuff like that, so if they can survive the turn 7 and then just do like a Psycho Palm 3 1 mana minions afterwards, stuff like that, they have the opportunity to. This is a big. So what can you do if you silence these 3-2 and play this Blade Master? Kind of need to circle, or it will just be value traded once more with the second part of the extra arms. If you just heal up, survive, and save your resources, because now with this Wild Pyromancer and the circle of healing, you're pretty close to actually being able to do something with
a cleric.
Yeah, with the cleric, yeah, drawing like 4 or 5 cards.
Wow, that's but it feels like a landslide victory here from Brussels. Lisbon are gonna have to draw the correct cards just off the top, or else they're not gonna come back from this. Like, Brussels have so many tools, so many answers. That's not the card they wanted to see. Like, what are you doing in at that spot? Are you just playing Blade Master and healing it with hero power?
It challenges a little bit, at least.
Yeah, it's probably just gonna soak and eviscerate. Something to spread out the damage. I'm just trying to think what Lisbon can do, and looking at Brussels' hand, it doesn't seem likely they're going to regain control of this board anytime soon. I guess you're just hoping for Psychopomp.
Yeah, Psychopomp would be huge here now. You have 3 good minions in it. And they're only running one silence, so using this silence is also super scary. So what we can see here is like double 1-drop and a Edwin, 6/6 Edwin, if you want. Or you can just clear it off with like 1/1-drop and eviscerate, something like that.
I like the 1/1s on Edwin.
You just don't care about the Blade Master, or just trade the 4/3.
Maybe you just trade.
Or doing like
Oh, they're going
this.
for the eviscerate.
Yeah, spreading out the buffs as well here, pushing 9. Now the silence will most likely come out as well, meaning that the Edwin is free to do whatever it wants. Oh, that's a powered shield though. Powered shield can help a lot here.
Okay, let's see that cleric.
So you do
Silence
Pyromancer
first.
silence, yeah. Get it down, then you powered shield and hope for something good.
Pretty
Psycho
much just cleric.
It's a Psycho Pump.
It's okay, it's not good enough though.
Hey, I got you,
And then
friend.
buffing the beaming sidekick, yeah. It's good enough. You're still low on cards though, and if you don't you can hit that cleric with the Psycho Pump and everything is fine and dandy.
Yeah, if you get cleric, it's better. Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this sidekick just because the Psychopomp was drawn, because it pollutes the rest pool by a lot. Because right now you have two quality
now
minions.
Now you can play 3 minions if you want, and then a big Edwin.
I think that's what you do. You've just seen the only silence played last
Oh.
turn.
That's a good one as well though. Taunt 2/5 Reborn.
I think you just go in for the kill.
You have equality to fall back on if everything fails.
Yeah, you just give something HP here, something annoying. Like you probably buff the cat or something, and then you just trade the 4/1 into the sidekick. There's no silence.
Or you do it like this and then you value trade. Or you go face.
I mean this
I
is
like face. I like face here.
okay.
Ooh, that's an Acolyte of Pain though. Like this Psycho Pump.
Is not
Yeah.
gonna be played maybe this turn yet.
Well, you can play. Like if you hit Cleric, which is 1 in 3, because it's 2 dead injured Blade Masters and 1 dead. So
I think actually Psychopomp first
to see what you get, yeah.
to try and go for that cleric.
Oh, they're going with no Psycho Pump, not going for the Cleric at all. You don't. This
Okay,
builds
so
a better
that's-
board though. This builds a better board if. Oh, it's Light Warden. So yeah. This builds a better board for Light Warden. So we have 9 damage. Need 4 more. You're nothing currently. So what you can do is like, yeah, you can Faceless and Heist Baron, and you just do.
And you just don't care about the board because there's not enough HP and not enough hand.
Yeah, you can kill the Psycho Pump, I guess, because of the 1/1. That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
change
you,
the
you
math.
probably do that, but you send the 8 straight into the face. I mean, you could also trade it actually, like you're so ahead, why not?
Yeah, you have sets of lethal anyways with the board you have.
Yeah.
So Lisbon here now, the Powerwood Shield.
Okay, let's trade that 1/2 first.
Let's see what we get from this Acolyte of Pain.
We have 2 draws at least here. Like, unless we play Bonsandi, but Bonsandi doesn't draw anything exciting. It draws the Cleric, but you're not gonna have enough mana to actually use it.
Yeah, trading in there is like the best one because I can heal face and then trade with the
Or you're gonna heal your taunt.
yeah, either or. Now the taunt dies anyways to the Togwaggle.
Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't die to the little things.
It's better with Powerwood Shield comes down. Inner Fire as well. So There is.
It's a valiant effort. Oh wow, yeah, they wanna kill that. Show me sap. Here it is.
Sap is. Let's see what the Wondrous Wands brings. 3 cards. That's a Blink Fox.
Oh, these are good.
These
These are
juicy
really
minis.
good.
That's a lot of stats.
Yep.
Let's see, Blink Fox.
Oh
That's a
wow.
regenerate. That's useless. But this
Well,
sap is huge.
it's
though.
good for the questing.
That's true, but that doesn't activate this turn anyways.
You have best.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then you
okay. And Brussels go 3-0 rogue.
Yeah, 3-0 with this rogue. Just why didn't they start with it in the first place? It just be over with instead of going all the way out to the 5th game here. But yeah, perfectly played here, showing the strength of the rogue in this lineup.
Yep. Like Priest is not Quest Shaman. If it doesn't have the board, it can't get it back. Quest Shaman kind of whiffed. Maybe there was a misplay at the beginning that got it to lose to Rogue, and then Rogue just took it from there. It's favored against the Paladins, favored against the Priest. Yeah, I think that's why I thought it was such a prime ban candidate, and just did the job for Brussels from 0-2 to 3-0.
Yeah, so seeing first this Shaman going up 2-0 and then the rogue basically reverse sweeping in the LHS is the name of the game here. And we will have Brussels going all the way to the finals.
And they were the first seed.
Yeah, and they were the first seeds. This shows that the hard work pays off in this national division here. But we will have a short break before we're back with the second match of the day, which is Madrid versus Helsinki, the second semifinals. So stay tuned for more Heart.
See you soon, guys.
Hello and welcome back to the second semi-finals here at House Rivalries National
Yo.
Division. I'm your host Delda, and with me I have Faloar.
Hey guys, reporting for duty.
So we just had a series here where Brussels managed to edge out the win in the fifth game, sweeping with the Rogue in this LHS, winning 3-2 over Lisbon. And now we have the second match of the day, which will be Helsinki versus Madrid. And we got in the bands and we got in the decks and everything ready here. Anything you want to add on to that, Faloar?
Yeah, let's just talk about the bans, get them out of the way. So Lisbon, Madrid has their Paladin ban. They brought OTK Paladin. They are left with Evolve Shaman, probably the best deck in the meta right now. Combo Priest and Tempo Rogue, this time with Myra's and Chef Nomi. And they're facing the Highlander Hunter, Nizoth Priest, and Quest Shaman with Helsinki's Control Warrior band. Going to be an exciting set of games. I think Helsinki are slightly favored, but if they can't get past that Evolve Shaman, they're going to suffer.
Yeah, and that's a little bit thing here though. Like the last series was a lot of like similar decks versus each other. This one is like everything out the window. It's 3 different decks versus 3 different decks. So it's going to be interesting to see how these matchups. Like even though Evolve Shaman and Quest Shaman look similar when you first glance at it, they play so differently and they have like completely different style of play.
Yeah,
Like
I think the ace in the hole here for Madrid is probably that Evolve Shaman, while for Helsinki, that Priest can probably sweep all of the aggressive decks. Like it struggles against Combo Priest, but it can get there. It has a lot of removal for these Priest minions in the early game, unless something gets big really quickly.
Yeah, it has like double penance, double shadow word pain, double shadow word death. You can basically clear anything that's big or small if it gets it early game. So,
and it has a lot of AoEs for the Shaman as well.
Yeah, double mass hysteria, double light bomb, double plague of death to be able to clear any board. And light bomb is really effective for dealing with priest minions because either fire puts your health and attack to the same, so they die to light bomb anyway. So
yeah, but it can also be played around. Like if you're playing the combo priest, you're just not going to play it until the right moment when it represents lethal or some sort of OTK.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming we're going to see Helsinki opening because it can just beat everything pretty consistently. Like the only class that it's like not amazing against is Rogue, but you're probably saving your Hunter for that. Maybe I think the Hunter is probably the best candidate for Rogue. I'm actually not sure what that matchup looks like. It just feels like it might be the best.
So Highlander Hunter Hunter in general has issues with Rogue in general, like the mid range and Mech Hunter and all of that. But the secret package is swinging that matchup a lot. Most of it is due to stuff like Rat Trap and Pressure Plate is doing so much dampens the effectiveness of Rogue. But basically, Rogue loves playing more than 3 cards a turn, and if you spawn your opponent a 6/6, that can spell trouble. Same with Pressure Plate. Just being able to not being able to play spells without losing your board could be catastrophic at times. So
yeah, I think Rogue has traditionally been considered like one of the decks that actually deal with Hunter pretty well. But I feel like since Zephrys came in, Hunter's got a little bit more tools, like the Ahina Alpha. It just feels like the Hunter is actually able to cope with the Rogue medium and small size minions in the early game, unless they play something like a Hench Clan, which make it way more consistent. But yeah, I suppose the matchup is still not really good for the Hunter. So that's their weak spot, I suppose. It's not good against the Evolve Shaman. It's only good against the Priest.
well, I would say for Hunter's sake, it's like 50-50 versus Shaman, because you can have like these 1, 2, 3, 4 turns, and Shaman has problems answering them, and Rogue is slightly favored. And Combo Priest is actually quite good for Hunter. Hunter was one of the classes people brought to GM to counter Priest.
Yeah.
Because of it, like freezing traps and pressure plates and everything just destroys Combo Priest. So we will see how they play it out. And we see him starting with the Hunter here from Helsinki.
Yeah, and we also see the special tech that's included in Madrid's Evolve Shaman. It actually incorporates underbelly anglers. Not a very popular inclusion in current reincarnations of Shaman. And it also loses pretty hard to Zephyrus in the early game, so I guess they just ditched that. They're saving it for value maybe in the end game.
Yeah, that's the whole deal with it. Like it's because of the Sludge Slurpers, and you can also chain them off each other. It's always good to play.
Yep. And Helsinki has a really decent start here. They're actually curving out good cards. Ziliax is definitely important in the matchup. And Madrid, on the other hand, is kind of whiffing. I guess they're saving. Actually, no, it's gonna be pretty rough. They don't know what's the secret that's in play, and now it's gonna be even harder for them to assume there's no rat trap, which is gonna make the 3-card play they've been planning for this turn a bit more awkward. Is there Spirit of the Frog there in the Revolve Shaman?
I see a lot of lists including them.
Yeah, there
but
is.
For Madrid's sake, yeah, it also has Spirit of the Frog.
Yeah, they've just drawn all of their spells. They haven't drawn anything. Actually makes them draw their deck. So no Spirit of the Frog. They have 2 copies of that. Yeah. Okay. They have to go for it. And they just okay. That's happy. That's a happy secret for them.
Yeah, and the double will take first, or the double.
And now it's confirmed. There's no rat trap. Like that's prime secrets as far as Madrid are concerned. These are the secrets they wanted to see.
Yeah, the other ones this is the best secret because you can get the Sea Giant down as well here.
And now you're probably gonna mutate your 3/2 as well into a 5-drop.
Yeah, just to be sure it doesn't die. It turns into 4/4. It's a bit of a low roll. This Celiax though, coming down.
Do you Celiax? Yeah, you have to, right?
You kind of have to, yeah.
But what do you hit?
If you hit the
4/4.
Yeah, hit the 4/4, kill it, and then you can because then the giant runs into it next turn because this weapon isn't big enough, and then you just go unleash the beast to clear off the giant. Because the giant is iffy to deal with unless it's the only minion on board, and it usually isn't the only minion on board when it's a giant because it gets reduced by many minions.
Yeah, that's not the 5-drop they wanted to see, and now the Super Bear is gonna bump into it. The only consolation for me is that it actually doesn't heal them for anything.
Yeah, it's basically wasted healing. So that's the only healing they have in their deck, I think, unless they have included. No, that's the only healing they have besides Soljin.
Yeah, and just a reminder here, they can't actually cheat with Evolve. Sea Giant doesn't evolve into anything because they're cost minion in the current meta. So that must feel bad for them. They wanted to either find a way to kill this bear without trading the giant, or to find a way to turn this giant into something else.
This Taunt Totem, though, is huge. Oh, this Zephyr is big as well.
Yeah, the Zephyrs will be played.
So the Taunt Totem getting in there means that the Unleash the Beast or the Desert Bear isn't able to clear off the giant.
If you play Desert Spear first, what does the Zephyrs give you when you play it for 1 mana?
Something. So we have Shadow Flame for the full
It's always
board.
SI, right?
aside to just clear the
Maybe Shadow Flame is just better.
yeah, like you're not afraid. You don't need to build your own board. You're not the aggressor in this matchup, and Shadow Flame is perfectly fine here.
And then you did spot that they have a really awkward hand, and that's what happens when you don't have Spirit of the Frog, or when your Evolve is a 4/4 5 drop.
Yeah, your hand gets dry fast. So option
Yeah.
here for Savannah Highman or Unleash the Beast. Decides to go with the Savannah Highman. More stats on board.
I don't blame them. That's like a prime spot to do that.
So the wolves are picked up, meaning you will get the Vicina buff.
Yeah, and you just play wolves and you play Soul of the Murloc, and then
You just push everything face, and you just hope you can be able to bloodlust and kill them off next turn.
yeah, and you can't reach Vicina either.
There's too many taunts in the way.
Yeah, that's 3 taunts. That doesn't cut it. I mean, and it doesn't matter. Like the fact that you're trading one of these taunts, maybe even 2 of these taunts, is not important. It just creates another minion that can attack with Bloodlust.
Yeah, and with this Vicina as well. Vicina is doing so much work here because of how it buffs up. And with this Feral Spirit actually is super low-key good. Like
Yeah, that's just game over, right? I don't think Helsinki survive, even if they return 1 minute with freezing, which they will. They just have to imagine a world where they don't have.
yeah, you don't have Bloodlust. That's the thing. Like I love this inclusion of Feral Spirit. Feral Spirit wasn't in the first editions of these decks, based on the fact that it doesn't do much, and you can't really play it on curve because it destroys like Desert Hair and stuff like that. But the thing is, you can reliably draw it because you have stuff like Spirit of the Frog, so you have something to draw in the 3-mana slot, and you don't usually have that. So counting up now, if this is Explosive Trap, that's what the Helsinki is thinking now. What if it's Explosive Trap? Then 3 minions die and you don't have lethal.
Yes, you still go for it. I think you just play the rush minion first.
And just to check.
Just to check for freezing, I guess. Just you don't care about freezing, you just want to eliminate explosive.
Yeah. So you know it's not snipe or snake. So it's either pressure plate, rat trap, or or freezing or explosive.
Yeah. So that increases the odds for it being explosive. And now they know they have lethal. And the game is over. Helsinki are just gonna let them push that damage in, which shows good sportsmanship. And Evolve Shaman actually gets it done with what I would say is not an ideal hand. They just top decked a couple of things. They threw things that don't do much or don't do what they planned for them to do, and they still got there against Hunter, which shows how difficult this matchup is for Hunter. Maybe Helsinki just queued it because it's so bad.
Yeah, and it all came down to that turn 4 with the coin, with the Thunderhead, being able to place down the giant and clear off the board and everything. Just like a huge turn 4 there. Without that turn, they would probably be out-tempoed and with the traps and everything. So
yeah, and Helsinki are going ahead and queuing their Quest Shaman, and they have a prime hand here. The Life Drinker is not ideal, but I mean, double questing Explorer is the best you can ask for.
Yeah, that's the best things to proc your quest with because they don't work afterwards.
Yep, and here's a Mutate, which is always good, and a Mind Control tech, which is also always a matchup. But on the other hand, we see Madrid with finally we see that Spirit of the Frog with a lot of spells.
Yeah, they can draw a lot next turn. The coin also draws the spells. It will draw, mutate, or evolve 50-50. So
Yeah, but they do have another mutate, so
Yeah, so
that's probably gonna draw the overload spell, right? I'm so bad with names. Somebody please punish me. The Voltaic Burst.
yeah, Voltaic Burst. They have Mutate, Voltaic Burst, and Evolve they control. So there's quite a few options there.
Yeah, they really want the Voltaic though, just because it allows them to clear 2 of the minions and develop quite a big board the following turn. Oh wow.
Ooh. Now they're probably gonna wait. They play the Spiritual Frog this turn and take the
Yeah.
beating, and then next turn they have the opportunity to go.
Yeah,
Problem
because they don't want to
is-
overload.
The problem is if they don't draw the Voltaic Burst or any of those minions, but I think it's worth the risk here.
I mean, do you ever just coin the I don't know. Do you coin the 4-drop?
That's a desert here coming in hot.
No evolve though.
No evolve, no, but that's
Coming in lukewarm.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but it can get really hot really fast.
Perplexing.
The thing though is it's interesting to see is this evolve versus quest. Like evolve is in a position where it seems like on paper it should be better based on stuff like MC Tech and stuff like that is really good because the boards go wide and the opponent doesn't have it. But the stats shows that the evolve shaman is favored over the quest. So, ooh, that's a huge pull from this.
Yeah, and you
Which
always
Flesh
coin
Shaper.
because you don't want to evolve it. So you want to evolve your.
That's
Oh,
a
and
take
they
burst
got-
as well. Oh, this is beautiful here.
Wow. Wow.
Being able to
It's
clear off
beautiful.
these minions. Let's see what this 8-drop is. Cross the ball. Oh, is it
Okay.
3-6? Oh, that's a terrible one actually.
But
because that's
Helsinki know there's an actually trade both these ones to
Yeah.
prevent an MC Tech. That's scary.
Oh, that's the desert here though.
Yeah, you just
Mid
played.
table. Yeah, you have to. Kind of situation. You have the mutate to back up if you get a horrible one.
Yep.
You also proc up quest.
That's the difference between the two decks. Like the Quest Shaman has like, you know, evolve bursty turn. You know, you evolve the Desert Hares. Sometimes you get to evolve them with the Mogu Flesh Shaper, but the Evolve Shaman is so geared towards these high rolls. Always draws Evolve because of Spirit of the Frog. It always creates minions. It always overloads. It just goes all in for this game plan, and it just does that high roll, quote unquote. It makes it so common that it's not even a high roll anymore.
Yeah, it's super consistent. You have
Shaman Stone.
4 minions that actually benefits from a big board in the Mogu and the Sea Giants, and then you have stuff like here, and you have so much. And seeing now though, going forward with the second evolve here, or the first evolve, is actually picking up Ysera and an Ahmed. Think now if you play if they wanted, they could play the wolves there and get 2/7 wolves, but.
Maybe you just go for the burn plan as hell. Oh my! Wow, you just want a lackey here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for the burn plan.
Yeah, they know there's no healing in your opponent's tech. They know they can't deal with this board anyways, so.
Yeah, and also it forces the trades from Madrid as well, which means these massive can't actually go face. They have to trade. That's
a horrible mutate though.
It's a miserable one.
That means you're not that afraid of actually leaving it up, meaning you only need to do one trade and can start the clock going on the other way around here. One of the issues though is how wide do you want to go on the board? Are you afraid of stuff like the MC Tech? You haven't seen it, but there's some cards that's been in the hand for Helsinki for a couple of turns.
If you play the taunt, they're gonna have 7 HP each because of this Ahmed.
Yeah.
And you really don't want the MC tech to get a 7 HP taunt. But you're risking it anyway. You're just going all in.
Yeah. It's like if you steal something, I have enough stuff. And you can only play one MC tech due to the fact that you're on 7 mana and not 8. And I can
Fair
start
enough.
to do the counter clock basically.
Yeah, they're just racing. And that's the Lackey generator, which will kill Madrid next turn. So, and you could pair it with the MC tag. So you always just play the Lackey generator first.
But are you like bloodless now is means you're dead.
Yeah, but I don't think you have any other choice.
No. You don't have any choice. And you pull the lackey here. You have the MC tech, hoping to get something good.
You have 20 HP. You get a taunt, you're okay-ish. You didn't
Okay.
get a taunt. Okay, and now we need the damage from the other side, or Madrid are dead.
Oh, that's the bloodlust. Is that
Bloodlust is top decked.
and Madrid just top takes that straight into the dome here. They, to be fair, they drawn quite a bit of cards, but that was exactly what they needed here. And even if you stole one of the taunts there, they would still be dead. So.
And that's what we were talking about. Evolve Shaman capitalizes on board better than Quest Shaman.
Wow. So 2-0 with this Shaman. And we saw this in the first series as well. The Shaman going up 2-0. We have now, though, Helsinki having their priest left to face off with this Shaman. And that can be dangerous. It's a dangerous prospect to have only one deck. So you need to sweep the rest of the classes with here.
Yeah, and that's probably, I think that's probably the best deck Helsinki has against Evolve Shaman, especially with these techs that they have. They have Bone Wraith, doesn't get rezzed by Nizop, but it does get rezzed by the res mechanics. As long as they find decent here, they should be fine. That's one of the okay matchups for Res Priest. Not the best hand though, I would admit.
Oh, there's something. Here comes the Underbelly Angler though for Madrid here. Starting
Yeah, that's the first time it's actually gonna be an early game threat here.
Yeah, and the Sludge Carper giving instant value here with this Lackey you don't want to see. Oh, that's
wow, that Murloc is powerful.
So just a lick him and you just go to town, I guess.
I think you just lick him, yeah.
Yeah, you just want to do as much damage as possible before the taunts come down.
You just lick him straight in the face.
Yeah,
Literally.
9 damage. Just lick him in the face.
Yeah.
Num 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 num. Tastes good.
Like right now, they may as well have been Shaman. Like they just found such a powerful Murloc for the board they have.
Yeah, buffing it a little bit out of the normal range of stuff like Light Bomb.
And
Also just being a good play on the next turn.
yeah, oh, that's not what they want to see. It's really good, of course, against Penance that they don't have in their hand right now. They just have to pass, and now this board is going to get, I assume, buffed. Yeah, that's just a snap. Seer there.
Oh. That's an Echo Murloc. That can generate even more value next turn. And then, yeah, down to 20 with 6 damage.
Wow, they're just not drawing the things they want to be drawing. And their Light Bomb is so bad now because of the amount of HP that Madrid has on their Murlocs.
So you can play the Echo Murloc now and get more value. You can even...
Yeah, you just go for Murlocs here.
Yeah, you can. The Bloodlust is also a valid thing because it means you can trade with weapon and then you can push 10.
I think you just create a sticky board.
Well, that as well. You can just create.
And then you're fine. I mean, you're afraid of what? What can be really maybe if you get like more minions on the board, then you maybe lose to Mass Hysteria. They don't have Mass Hysteria, but the best play against Mass Hysteria is Soul of the Murloc. So the question is, how do you play into that? And I think you just gotta have to play the 2-cost. Yeah, okay, that's fine too. You don't care about value anymore, you just care about stickiness.
Yeah, with Stolen Mutate and Stolen Murloc. Yeah. Let's see the 8-drop. That's a Ragnaros though! And now we're turning everything.
Evolve Shaman, guys, I mean, that's what you're gonna find in Ladder, so take it as a training session. And the training session concludes with...
Plague of Death is far from able to do anything here. There's nothing Helsinki can do. They can coin out the Light Bomb to clear off.
They have to coin Kartut, I think. I don't see any other way. They have to coin Kartut.
Coining Kartut.
I think they're dead anyway. I think it doesn't...
So there's nothing they can do. So Madrid takes it with this Evolve Shaman. This is that Ragnaros though. Wow, it's
it's a good A drop. I've been hearing.
Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, I think Kartut is the best play they can have here.
Well, this
okay, light bomb.
Technically alive, isn't it?
Almost everything kills them. That's almost just lethal on board. That's 1 damage off lethal.
Yeah. So the Bloodlust comes in. I see the Helsinki slamming their hand into the board, into the table there.
How about 15 extra damage?
Quick series. Can we see the power?
That's why you bring it.
Yeah, Evolve Shaman just... If you are going to like an Open Cup or a tournament in the near future, if you don't bring some sort of Shaman, even if it's a Evolve, a Quest or something...
I didn't.
Yeah. And where were you top 8 in Bucharest?
Wow.
No, but yeah, you actually managed to qualify without it, but it's such a strong deck to bring there.
Yeah, it's the best deck. I don't think anybody's different. It just does. It's insane. It's Shaman Stone. That's all I can say.
So that was it. 2 great series here. The first one going to 5 matches. This one going just a 3-0 sweep. So we're down a little bit earlier today, but it was fun casting with you. So always, Falar.
Ditto. Had a pleasure.
So that was it for us this time. But if you want to catch the finals, which will be the grand finals between Madrid and Brussels, you can tune in on Thursday about the same time, 7 p.m. CST. And you will be able to catch 2 fabulous casters casting that match and see the end of this season, House Rivalries National Division. So thank you for everything. I'm your host, Delda.
And I'm your co-host, Falular.
Yeah, and good night.
Good night, guys.